I want to make a bet with you today. Yes, a bet. I'm willing to bet you by the time you're done watching this video, one of two things is going to happen to you. Either you're going to have tears coming down your eyes, you're going to cry, or you're going to have the chills all over your body, because that's what happened to me. And if it does, if you do cry and if you do get the chills all over your body, I want you to text 5 people this story, this link. And if you don't, tweet me any question. I'll respond back to you. Fair enough? This is a story about a horse. And if you don't know, I love horses. I love everything about horses. I love horse movies, Secretariat, Seabiscuit, Champ with John Boyd back in the days. I probably watched John Boyd 50 times in Iran until I finally met John Boyd. Just a very emotional movie to me. I love horse paintings. I love going to racetrack. I love going to the Derby. I love going to Kentucky Derby. I love horses. But this is a story about an owner and a horse he didn't believe in. It's a story of an owner named Zayed. And this is a man, very wealthy man. He's been in the horse business for a very, very long time. And every year, horse owners go to this auction and they bet on horses and they buy horses. Now, Zayed, who I believe is an Egyptian millionaire, he not only buys horses, he also sells his own horses. So in this auction, he sold one of his horses. He just didn't believe this horse was going to do good, so he gave it up to auction. So everybody, these millionaires, they bring different analysts. These are people that calculate which horse is going to do good based on certain data that they pull up, right? And so this guy brings a guy named Jeff. Now, Jeff, for you to know, is very decked out, very educated, brilliant guy. He's a guy that was in Wall Street, did very well in his mid-late 20s, and then he got bored. He says, look, I love horses. I'm just going to get into the horse business. And he came out with a formula on how to pick winning horses. And it's very different than some of the other people out there pick their horses. So he says, okay, go at it. Let me know which horse I should bet on. I says, great. So Jeff goes and starts doing his investigation. And by the way, these horses don't have names. They're typically a year old and they have numbers. Like it's not going to be a certain name. You're going to do number 86, number 129. That's what you're buying. You're buying the number, right? And so Jeff goes and does his due diligence and he comes back and Zayed says, okay, so who should I buy? He says, there's not a single horse for you to buy today. He says, what do you mean? Not one horse. There's not a single horse that's worth you investing money. He says, how about that one horse with a great pedigree? Waste of time. Don't do it. He says, so what do I do? He says, look, I think the best horse for you to bet on this year for the Derby is the horse you put up for auction. He says, wait a minute. The horse that I'm selling, that I sold, yes. You want me to buy back my own horse? That's like comical. Yes, you got to go back and buy that horse. It's kind of weird. Why do you say that? He says, let me explain to you why. So they pull up the data, and here's the data. That horse, just so you know, when it came to height, he was in the 56th percentile of height. You know what that means? You know how parents go to the doctor and doctor says, your 4-year-old son is in the 89th percentile. What does that mean? Out of 100 kids, he's going to be taller than 89 of them. This horse was in the 56th percentile. When it came down to the weight, he was in the 61st percentile, light horse, short horse. When it came down to pedigree, ready? 70th percentile. Nothing impressive. But Jeff tells Zayed, when it comes down to his heart's left ventricle, ready? 99.61 percentile. Let me say this again. 99.61 percentile. That means out of 1,000 horses, only 3 of them have a bigger left ventricle. You got to bet on this horse because he's got a big heart and he's going to fight. And when you race, you need a horse with a big heart. The owner says, oh my gosh, I hope you're right. It makes sense because a lot of these, predictive analytics, they like to look at guys with horses with big nostrils. They says, no. It's all about the left ventricle. So he gets this horse. You know what he ends up naming this horse? The one that he bought back, the one that he didn't believe in? Ready? American Pharoah. You know what American Pharoah does in 2015? American Pharoah does in 2015 something that no horse had done for 39 years. American Pharoah goes and wins the Triple Crown. Second fastest time ever. And not only that, American Pharoah wins the Breeders' Cup that same year. Never been done before. Not only does he win the Breeders' Cup, he wins by 6.5 lengths. Now, what does this have to do with anything? This was a special horse. But Pat, that's great that he won all that stuff. What's your point? In 2006, 2 billionaires fought for one horse because that horse had such great height, weight, pedigree. Everybody wanted this horse. Great pedigree. You know what they paid for that horse? $16 million. You can go do your own research. 2006, most expensive horse ever bought in auction. You'll see $16 million. Do you know what that horse's career earnings was ever? Ready? $10,000. $16 million, $10,000. What does this have to do with you? Everything. See, back in 2009, I was in a meeting, and I'll never forget this. The chairman of the company got up, and he said, every 10 years, I pick somebody that I believe is going to be the future of the industry. And I bank on him for a decade. And everyone's sitting in the room. It wasn't a lot of people that were waiting to see what name was going to be mentioned. The names were brought up. Wasn't my name. I sat in that room and I said, wow, you picked the guy that played professional sports for college. You picked the guy that is American. I'm Middle Eastern. I don't have a degree. I never played organized sports. You picked the guy that looked the part. You picked the guy that everything made sense, good pedigree. Everything was proper. But you never saw the heart. You never saw the character. I said, no problem. Do you know how many times I replayed that talk in my own mind? So many times. You know why? See, while you're watching this, some of you may be saying, I wish I was taller. I wish I had better skin. I wish I had nicer eyes. I wish my nose was smaller. I wish I was a little bit stronger. I wish I was a better communicator. I wish I had a better degree. I wish my parents were Kennedys or the Rockefellers or the Vanderbilts. I don't know. I just wish my parents had a name. I mean, I wish I had those contacts. I wish my parents did something with their lives. See, those things don't matter. What matters is what nobody sees, and it's right here. It's your left ventricle. It's your heart. People can't see this. Everybody sees degrees. Everybody sees height. Everybody sees last name. Nobody sees the heart. I'm in my garage right now. It's 12:30, Sunday night. Kids are sleeping upstairs. You can see the light just went off. You know why? Because I don't want to make a lot of noise. These kids are asleep. They got to go to school early in the morning. You know what I think about all the time as I'm chasing and I'm going after my vision of what I want to do? I think about that heart. No one knows your heart. So as you're watching this and you're a little bit down on yourself, maybe not everything's going right, do not let the world judge you on the outside. Go show the world what's on the inside. And by the way, if you got the chills and if you got tears in your eyes right now, pay your bet. Text this to 5 other people because I bet there's other people that also need to hear this message. And if I lost, send me a tweet. I'll answer any question you may have. But either way, have a killer week this week. Love you.